Hey everybody, welcome to Always Bored, Never Boring. The other day I noticed that issue 1 of the new Hachette Partworks magazine Dungeons & Dragons Adventurer was out. This was a magazine that they had test run at the end of last year, and I guess they decided it had legs because issue 1 is now in newsagents across the UK. So my wife, top team player that she is, hopped into a store the other morning and grabbed me a copy so I could check it out, and that's exactly what I'm going to do today. However, before I get into that, I want to talk a little bit about what this new Partworks series is and how it's going to work. If you've never heard of a Partworks series before, it's a subscription that gradually builds into a complete product month on month, with each instalment usually featuring a magazine with a variety of cover products. Long-time viewers of this channel may recall my monthly coverage of the Conquest Partworks from Hachette, which served as a comprehensive introduction to 40k for new players as well as an opportunity for established players to get miniatures at a great price. Over the course of the subscription, the magazine covered all aspects of the rules and introduced dozens of scenarios, and it came with miniatures that built into 2 complete rival armies, plus hobby supplies including paints and brushes. This new collection, Dungeons & Dragons Adventurer, is doing exactly the same thing, but serving as an introduction to, rather unsurprisingly, Dungeons & Dragons. The complete collection comprises 80 weekly issues, but issues for this sort of thing are generally bundled into monthly packages for shipping, so you can expect to receive 4 issues at a time. Issue 1 has a cover price of £1.99, issue 2 costs £4.99, and the remaining 78 issues are a whopping £8.99 each. At the moment, the collection is only available in the UK and the Republic of Ireland, although in the past Hachette have been able to work out distribution deals to extend certain collections into other territories, so that's something to watch out for if this might be of interest to you. But should you be interested, what are you getting for your money? The idea here is that each week includes a magazine, one of those pull-apart ones with hole-punched pages designed for putting into a ring binder, and within the pages of that magazine, or supplements included with it, you will find rules for playing Dungeons & Dragons, being a DM, creating a character, combat, skill tests, all that stuff. Plus information on the history of the game, the lore, the different settings you can explore, the varied horrors and heroes that populate those settings, tips and advice, and encounters you can run with your friends. Each issue also comes with cover products such as dice, encounter maps, character sheets, and 2D miniatures. For example, issue 1 comes with a tin containing a complete set of polyhedral dice. We'll look at those in more detail in a moment. Issue 2 comes with another set of dice, issue 3 comes with 4 exclusive 2D miniatures, and issue 4 comes with a giant D20. The 2D miniatures are a pretty good idea. They are the flat acrylic ones made by WizKids. Personally, I would have been way more interested in this product if they were including real miniatures. I don't need an introduction to D&D, and I certainly don't need any more miniatures to add to my paint queue, but there is something quite compelling about the idea of receiving D&D monsters and heroes through the post each month. At the right price, I could get on board with that. But I do think the 2D miniatures are a smart move for a product intended for new players. It means you don't have to deal with the hobby side of the game, and readers don't have to worry about learning to paint. They get ready-made, ready-to-play character pieces that will look good on the table and will allow them to focus on gaming. I can imagine it could be quite exciting to have a full acrylic sheet of monsters turning up with the magazine every now and again, especially if they tailor those sheets to the included encounters. Choosing to subscribe also means you will get some free gifts. First of all, you get 1 issue free. Then there's a branded dice tray, one of those ones with the poppers on the corners so they can be folded flat for transport and storage. There's a Dungeon Master screen, which is actually a pretty cool gift. There's a ring binder for storing your magazines. Do note, you won't get all 80 issues in one binder, and generally you have to pay extra if you want more of those binders later on. Finally, there's a wooden dice jail. If you've never seen a dice jail before, it's a gimmick product. You stick your dice in it when they aren't behaving, as a form of punishment. And if you want even more weird D&D bits and bobs, you can also choose to go with a premium subscription. When you do this, the cost per issue increases from £8.99 to £10.24, and over the course of the 80 issue subscription you will receive 5 Cupro nickel coins with exclusive character designs and a display case to show them off in. So that's what you're buying into, and I do see the appeal of the idea. D&D can seem quite intimidating. There are lots of rules, lots of character classes, lots of books you can buy, and lots of adventures to explore. A magazine that takes you by the hand and introduces you to the game in a manageable, procedural way, also giving you the tools you need like dice and handouts, doesn't seem like a bad idea at all. But for this subscription I see 2 big issues, no pun intended. The first one is the price. Value is subjective, but no matter which way I slice this one, I can't see the value in subscribing over finding another way to get into the game. Looking at the cost per issue, £8.99 seems steep to me. If you were getting a pack of dice on the cover, you can argue you are getting value there. If you want a set of poly dice, you can easily spend over £20. But then again, you can easily source basic dice sets for around £5, so you need to be getting some really nice dice to feel you're getting something special. And you aren't always getting dice. The 2D miniatures are available from WizKids, and they normally cost around £15, although I found the packs on clearance for as little as £7. So again, when they only include 4 minis with issue 3, even with the exclusive character designs, it doesn't feel like incredible value. However, I think it's only when you add up the full cost of the subscription that the value really starts to look shaky. Taking into account issue 1 costs £1.99, issue 2 costs £4.99, and issue 3 is free if you subscribe, the full cost of a regular subscription is £699.21. That increases to £799.21 if you go for the premium subscription. Let's compare that to a more conventional way to get into D&D. A D&D starter set costs £20 and includes rules, an adventure, character sheets and a set of dice. When you are ready for the next step, you can get the Essentials kit, which is around £25 and includes more dice, handouts, a Dungeon Master screen and a big adventure. From there you could grab the Player's Handbook, Monster Manual and Dungeon Master's Guidebooks. Each of those is around £25. And at that point, you have spent £120 and you have hundreds of hours of gameplay at your fingertips. And you've saved £580 compared to the regular subscription to the Partworks magazine. Of course, you can argue the subscription gets you a lot more dice and 2D minis and stuff like that, but think how many miniatures and dice you can buy for £580. However, value is in the eye of the beholder. The structure of the magazine and how it teaches you to play, the included encounters, the free gifts, the convenience of getting everything sent to you, all of those things may convince someone that the subscription is still worth it. For me, I just don't see it. Partworks like Conquest seem like amazing value, but this one feels lacking. The second issue is, I think this subscription seems very confused. Who is it aimed at? The idea of the magazine is to introduce new players to the game and provide them the tools they need to play, but the free gifts and cover products don't always seem to tally with that aim. By the time you get to issue 4, you have already received 2 full dice sets and a special oversized D20, with the promise of even more dice sets to come. New players only need 1 or 2 dice sets. Having dozens of dice sets is more the mindset of the collector. Similarly, the coins for the premium subscription feel like something designed to appeal to established players and collectors, not someone who is being introduced to D&D for the first time. Even the dice gel for subscribing is a gimmicky joke gift that would probably appeal more to established gamers. Now, I don't know what cover products are coming down the line, how many more dice sets and miniatures there will be, but from what I've seen so far, it feels like a magazine that is at once trying to appeal to new gamers and collectors, and maybe I'm wrong. I often am, and clearly the test run last year generated enough interest for us to be here now, but this just doesn't seem like it's going to work. Enough about that though, let's take a closer look at issue 1. First of all, the cover gift is okay. You get a nice tin and inside you have your full set of polyhedral dice. That's really nicely presented and well worth the £1.99 they are asking for this issue. I do have 2 complaints though. The major issue is these dice are red numbers on black. That's incredibly hard to read. From across the table, I can't read these dice at all. Additionally, the dice don't have any kind of D&D branding. A logo on the D20 would have been nice just to make these a little more special. As it is, it's just a set of basic dice in a nice tin. Great value for the cover price though. You also get 4 pre-generated character sheets: Human Rogue, Hill Dwarf Cleric, Wood Elf Fighter and a Lightfoot Halfling Wizard. It's a classic party mix and the character sheets are a decent thickness, presented in full colour. These are the characters that you get the 2D minis for in issue 3. Then you get this Diddy booklet introducing you to combat. It has these little metal loops so you can store it in one of the binders with the magazines, and is a decent enough introduction to one of the more gamey parts of D&D. I'm not sure how convenient it will be later on to look back through dozens of these little books to find rules references, but as a way to introduce core rules week on week, it seems okay. Finally, you get the magazine itself. As I mentioned before, it has a glued spine so you can pull apart the different sections and store them in the binders. You get a section called Sage Advice, 8 pages covering an overview of D&D, the flow of gameplay, and the role of the Dungeon Master. Then there are 10 pages covering character creation. This includes our 4 pre-generated characters, information on ability scores and dice roll modifiers, and starting equipment. There are 2 pages on lore, which talks about Phandalin, the town that anybody who played the Lost Mine of Phandelver will know very well. Then there are 6 pages for an introductory adventure where the heroes arrive at Phandalin and pop to the inn only to discover everything is not as it should be. This is probably the most interesting part of the magazine. It's a simple combat-focused encounter to throw players into the game, and unbelievably, spoilers ahead, it involves fighting rats in the basement of an inn. Classic. Is there even any other way to start your new adventuring career? I think the quest is presented well. There are multiple maps, large images, a good explanation of the creature stat blocks, and it's all formatted clearly. The mission is a short one that includes a bit of exploration, some fighting, and even an encounter with an NPC. It seems fine. Not very original, but fine. Overall, I think it's a good enough first issue. These partworks always feel a bit disjointed and all over the place at first, but they gradually form a more cohesive whole, and there's some solid information in here for anyone brand new to D&D. Plus, that encounter might be a fun thing to throw into a new campaign. The big selling point is the dice set, which is worth paying £1.99 for, and I think if you see this in a store somewhere, it's worth grabbing for that reason alone. But after issue 1, I'm ducking out. This isn't a product for me, but I do hope it introduces even more people to the wonderful world of role-playing games. My daughter recently joined a D&D club at her school, and it's an absolute joy to hear about her adventures as she excitedly emerges from each session. And you can never have enough ways to introduce more children to that kind of experience. Role-playing games are magical, and while Dungeons & Dragons Adventurer doesn't seem like the perfect product from my perspective, I'm always happy to see a new way for people to find out more about the game and maybe develop a lifelong passion for adventure. And that's it from me for now. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please consider pressing the like button. If you really enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing if you don't already do so, and hopefully I'll see you all again very soon. Bye bye everyone. Bye bye.